Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So, what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So, as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So, that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Mikkell. I am a digital marketing strategist and a digital producer of many different things,
Mm-hmm.
from mobile apps to video games to websites to ebooks.
Mm.
I'm also a published author with a few titles in fiction, science fantasy specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and two titles in nonfiction, one on health and wellness, the
Mm.
other on business strategies. I'm currently producing another one of business strategies that has to do with our current situation in the global, environment right now.
Yes, that's awesome. Now, where are you located?
I am in Trinidad in the West Indies, but before the lockdown, I
Okay.
would frequent Canada in Toronto because I'm originally from there, but my family is
Mm.
lives most of them live in Trinidad, so I'm primarily back and forth between both places, but not right now because of the lockdowns. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. Now, so this is great about the business forecast. So going with the industries and things of that nature, how the landscape is going to
Yes.
change after this pandemic. What insight do you have on that and words of wisdom that you could share with everybody?
What I would definitely say is for those who have not or so good time to start to embrace. Look at it as an opportunity for
Mhm.
yourself and your business to expand your
Mhm.
current customer base outside of your locale. What I definitely would say is
Mm.
that don't see this as a be all end all where you have to be like, okay, you need to go digital or else that's it for you. But take the time to see how,
Mhm.
because we're going to be in lockdown for a while, you can take the time to learn,
Mhm.
appreciate, and see how digital can integrate into your business. So even if it's not the main source of income, it becomes a nice complementary stream
Mhm.
for your already existing business. Because we can
Mm.
never give up face to face. We will always have
Mhm.
that. We will always have communities and villages where people will transact and interact. But that does not mean now not to try
Mhm.
and get your brand and word out further than just the people that you can see in person.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Awesome. Now, what as a digital
Mm-hmm.
marketing strategist, what advice would you give somebody in order to making that transition? What type of platforms or methods should they use to begin to increase their market?
Well, the first thing they have to look at is what functions does their business do and what value does their business provide. So, in terms of the functions,
Okay.
they have to see what it is they can do without physically being there. One, so that's a digital capacity or automated capacity. And
Mhm.
two, what they can give to someone else to do that does not require too much effort. So that could be a delegative or outsourcing strategy, right? So when they look at it like
Mm.
that, yeah,
Mhm.
when they look at it like
Mhm.
that, then they can see what services or what function, I should say, that their business can perform without the use of a local entity or like a brick and mortar. In terms of
Mm.
value proposition, they need to think
Mhm.
in terms of, okay, what is the value that my product or service provides to a client that they get that
Mhm.
benefit from. So let's say, for
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
you are like, my wife is a professional makeup artist and professional dancer. Right now, she can't
Mhm.
exactly work on people's faces, or she can't work on go to functions because they don't exist right now. But the thing is,
Mhm.
that doesn't stop her from giving a value proposition of, let's say, giving classes on or one-on-one consultancy on makeup to learn from there,
Mm.
or dancing, how to dance a certain way, because she does Arabic dancing. So that's something that you learn in comfort of your home through video
Mm.
conferencing. And I would even go as far to say
Mm.
as she can even entertain still, where somebody wants a dance for an occasion coming up. Right now, we can't celebrate birthdays, we can't celebrate weddings how we want to. But what's to stop her from doing a specialized dance for
Mhm.
her, for the person, over video, live or pre recorded, and
Mm.
then that becomes a staple gift that they
Mhm.
always have to look at, you know? Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Mhm. I love that out of the box thinking. So, let's see. Somebody is thinking of doing an ebook. A lot of times, this we got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
time on our hands. You've done several. So, what advice would you recommend for them to get started on that journey?
Definitely try and solve and answer one question slash problem as your main goal.
Mhm.
Um, Create a
Mhm.
layout. It doesn't have to be that long. It literally could be like
Mhm.
10 points, 10 paragraphs, um,
Mhm.
intro,
Mhm.
conclusion, legal matter, things like that,
Mhm.
and then stick within that structure.
Mhm.
Try and the good thing about doing structure like that is that you
Mhm.
give yourself a goal a day. So maybe you do one paragraph a day. Maybe you write, like if it's fiction.
Mm.
Right now, for fiction, I try to write 500 words a day. There
Mhm.
are times I want to press the backspace button, but I tell myself,
Mm.
no, I will get to that eventually. The most important thing is put words on paper or on screen.
Mm.
The worst thing you want to anybody who's creative needs to
Mhm.
work with is a blank screen with a cursor that's blinking, prompting you to get something done. So that's definitely, I would tell them,
Mm.
have that structure first, because a lot, and have deadlines, because a lot of people, they tend to have this arbitrary goal of, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I personally know people, they've been working on projects for the last 10 years, The reason why they have not released anything
Mhm.
because they don't
Mhm.
have those deadlines and they don't have that structure. Now I'm hoping that during this time of
Mm.
rest and relaxation, I want to call it, they actually take that time to put those things
Mhm.
in place. So when we're finally out of this, we have a lot more digital assets out there. Because I want everybody to succeed. Because I want people. The worst thing I can see is when somebody has something in them, something of value, and they never release it because of fear,
Mhm.
doubt, insecurity, lack of knowledge, lack of drive, determination.
Mhm.
It's sad because it's unfair for that thing not to be out there to the world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's good. That's good. Now, in terms of a
Mm-hmm.
marketing strategy, a lot of people may be pursuing different businesses that they hadn't even considered because, the landscape is changing. What are some tips that you could give somebody that can start maybe a different business at a low cost as it comes to marketing? Different marketing strategies that might be not as costly to kind of get
Okay.
started, to
Well,
kind of get their feet wet.
definitely, first things first, and I always do this. You do your customer research. You
Mhm.
have to see
Mhm.
what problem are you solving out there for persons who are out there and who are
Mhm.
willing to pay for it or they will place a value on it, right? So once you've done your research and you
Mhm.
see that this is a want and a need of some kind, then you can mold your
Mhm.
product or service to solve that problem. So, for example, right now, with
Mhm.
my books, I recently did audiobooks for my books, and I didn't promote them as strong as I should have in the early days of January, February. However, I found that a lot of
Mhm.
people are now at home, they're bored, they've watched everything on Netflix, they've
Mhm.
reread the
Mhm.
same novels 3 and 4 times already. They want something new, and this is the opportunity now to
Mhm.
get to them. So there I go, present myself, and I
Mhm.
would start off something like, are you bored at home and you like science fantasy or epic fantasy? I have something that you might like. And that has
Mhm.
resulted in a colossal
Mhm.
growth of the amount of audiobooks I've sold. Because
Mm.
I did my research and I saw what the problem was, aka boredom, and I molded
Mhm.
my books to
Mhm.
be the solution. Yeah. So
I love that.
definitely that,
Mhm.
first things
Yeah.
first, do your research, create copy that speaks to your customer. Like I rightfully just said, I basically spoke to my customer. Are you bored and you like this? Well, check this out.
Mhm.
Three simple lines
Mhm.
actually, and that
Mhm.
ad is doing so well for me right now on Facebook that it's crazy.
Mm.
Many times people believe that they need long copy and they need web pages upon web pages
Mhm.
of proof and testimonials. Sometimes you just need to get within the conversation that's going on in somebody's head. hmm So definitely that
Mm.
is, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely that
I
is
love that.
one cheap, I would say, or like reasonably cost way to do it. You can do surveys, survey people, try and step outside your
Mhm.
friends and family, try to really go to places where the people
Mhm.
who you would want to sell to congregate online, because it's so easy now. You just go online
Mhm.
and you do a
Mhm.
survey on like Google Forms or Survey Monkey or one of these, and you get the results that you need. It might not be what you're looking for, but it's what you need, you know. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Now, so these are Facebook groups. Do you have any other platforms
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you kind of work through
Yeah,
that
sure.
somebody could do?
I am a big advocate of
Mhm.
Reddit. The Red subreddits on Reddit. Now
Mhm.
people might think Redditors are mean.
Mhm.
I don't call Redditors mean. Redditors are brutally honest. They will tell you what they feel and what they're thinking, no matter what,
Mm.
without filter, because there is no filter there.
Mhm.
There's no need to
Mm.
filter oneself, and that's exactly what
Mhm.
you want. You want the truth. So I would say Reddit for sure, subreddits.
Mm.
And definitely don't go in there. Don't ever go
Mhm.
on those things as if you are just trying to sell something. Go in because that you actually are looking for
Mhm.
information for something that you want to do to solve their problem, right?
Mhm.
Another source I would say
Mhm.
is look at forums online. A simple Google search.
Mhm.
Before Facebook, we
Mhm.
all congregated when we were online on forums. We'd find a forum online on some website,
Mhm.
and we spend a lot of our time there trying to figure out stuff, creating relationships, getting to know people, and understand what's the new thing in the market. So definitely, I would say go there. Stick with those things. I would also
Mhm.
say you can also check stuff like Google Trends. If you have an inkling of something that you
Mhm.
think will work, you can kind of see where the interest is, and the locations for it, and how strong it is right now at this point in time. Maybe it's seasonal. For example, with my wife, I have a company that we call Mermitude, Mermaid with Attitude. We sell a lot of
Mhm.
mermaid merchandise, and we also have an app that's online. Mermaids are seasonal. Mermaids
Mhm.
come out really to play during the summer periods and a little bit of the winter when people are
Mhm.
kind of reminiscing back on the summer. But so we see that in
Mhm.
trends, and we like, okay, that's the time to really start to push and drive this, and then we will get that
Mm.
from exactly, right? And all that is just from
Mhm.
research. Yeah.
Sounds
The worst
good.
thing you want to do, in my opinion, is just
Mhm.
throw money at something and hope it works. It might work, but your return on
Mhm.
ad spend could be so much more if you took those extra days to do your research and then
Mhm.
deploy. Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what good books? You have your own books, which we can list those with the post. But what other books would be good? A lot of people have a lot of time on their hands, so either books or podcasts that they can kind of get started with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking right now off the bat because I'm really a doer. Like I would follow mentors. I
Mhm.
would go with their advice. I will implement stuff. I'm thinking in terms of books. There is a book called, what's it called, boy? The 2 hour work week. There's two. Yeah, there's that one
Okay.
where,
4 hour or
yeah,
a
that
two
one
hour.
it's kind of off of Timothy Ferris's 4 hour work week. But yeah, so Timothy Ferris
Oh.
4 hour work week is excellent to get the mindset of outsourcing and delegating and stuff. I
Mhm.
believe is the two
Mhm.
hour work week is another author. I can't remember his name right now, Robert something, and he
Mhm.
speaks
Mhm.
about building a website that meets a certain demand, and then have a payment system on that website, and have people who do the jobs for you, so everything works in a unit like that. Let me see what else it is. I
Mm.
definitely would tell people to look at Robert Kiyosaki's books, not just Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I'm thinking like Cash Flow
Mhm.
Quadrant, Other People's Money,
Mhm.
Rich Dad's Guide to Real Estate. Those are excellent books as well.
Mhm.
Um, Think and Grow
Mhm.
Rich is a classic. They should definitely take a look at that.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of podcasts, I no, this is just me personally. I find a lot of value in
Mhm.
Neil Patel's podcast because I love when
Oh
people
yes.
talk from a
Mhm.
practical nature. I am somebody who is
Mhm.
like theories great and all, but if I can't practically do it
Mhm.
myself, it doesn't make sense to me, right? And just for my plug,
Mhm.
I'm looking to
Now, is that like a marketing? What's the name of that one? It's I know Neil Patel, but what's the
um
name of the podcast?
Neil Patel's Minutes to Market is something like the name escapes me right now,
Yeah,
but yeah,
something with
yeah, look
marketing. I'll
that
look
up for
that up.
sure.
Okay.
And just to plug my own thing, I'm looking to start my own podcast very soon. Yeah, yeah. I haven't
Oh,
found a name
awesome.
yet, but
Mhm. Good for
once I
you.
do, I'll let you know, and I guess we could come back on with this.
Awesome. I would appreciate it. That's great. Okay. So, any final thoughts that you want to share with the audience?
Final thoughts. I would wish everybody to be safe during this very unpredictable time that we're in right now.
Mhm.
The news is bombarding us with so much negativity and fear and uncertainty. I would say that yes, take precaution.
Mhm.
Yes, be mindful. Yes, take care of your loved ones. But at the same time, also look at the positives that we have as well. Now, a lot of people like to focus on the amount of
Mhm.
deaths that are happening, and it's bad. The amount of deaths are bad, especially what's happening in Italy and Spain. But also look at the amount of recoveries that we are
Mhm.
having as well. Majority of people are recovering, and
Mhm.
from them we are getting antibodies that are going to help us beat this virus. So this virus is not going to be here forever, and we're in a
Mhm.
much better position than we were 100 years ago when we had the Spanish flu. People are more educated. There's much more
Yeah.
technology. We're going to beat this. At the same
Mhm.
time, I would like to encourage people
Mhm.
to use this time to see what vulnerabilities they had in their business and what opportunities have now presented themselves.
Mm.
Whether it be in your own business or maybe you want to pivot into
Mhm.
something else, this is an opportunity now to rest, reflect, learn, implement. So as soon
Mhm.
as everything clears up, you are ready to go back into the world, a different person,
Mhm.
perhaps a better person, and just continue
Mhm.
to learn and grow from this. Don't just look at the negative. Yeah.
I love that. I I love that. Okay, and the best way for everybody to get a hold
Well,
of
the
you.
best way we could get a hold of me is through my company, DF Studios Limited. The website is dfstudiosltd.com, or they can email me at
Mhm.
Mikkell, which is Mikkell, at
Mhm.
dfstudiosltd.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, we really have appreciated your insight and wisdom and look forward to hearing that podcast in the
Yeah,
near
for
future.
sure.
What a great discussion. I loved all the marketing tips, the out of the box thinking, and just the clarity and focus of actually knowing who it is you're um, trying to reach and what is it that you are providing for them. So this is something that is just key when it comes to transitioning, knowing your audience, and things that you want to be mindful of as we move forward and navigate through the uncertainty of what's going on throughout the world. And so, if you're clear about communicating those key elements, it can really help you pivot into any industry that you need to be in, or even transform your business from what you're used to a new way of conducting business and reaching your clients. So we want to thank Mikkell for that insight. If you are interested in being a guest, please feel free to email me at info@lachelleatkins.com, or you can reach out to me through Facebook Messenger, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest. You could also follow me on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel with several little small 1 minute videos to kind of help you through business ideas and just everyday issues and situations. I am a mother of 15 with 12 kids at home during this pandemic. So there are just quick little bite sized mindsets that we can kind of implement that can help us to move forward during this time of uncertainty. So I would challenge you all to think about ways that you can add value. You know, it's during these times that we really figure out what we're made out of, how strong we are, and things that may be easy for you could be overwhelming and challenging for others. So, if you do have something that you want to share, please reach out because this is a time for us to come together and to share everything that we've got in order for us to rebuild a better world after this pandemic passes by. So, again, I want to thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful day.